All right. We got us a good conversation today. Today on today's show, I got my main man, Rashad Harris. It's been a long time for us since we've gotten together. We talked about doing the podcast, and our schedules have been so crazy.
Very crazy.
It's actually, my schedule's been pretty the same, but your schedule, Rashad, man, your business is really blowing up.
It's doing all right. I'm not mad at it, man. I'm blessed out here, man. Things are good, man.
Yeah, I know. I talked with your wife, and your anniversary for quitting your 9 to 5 is coming up.
It's actually, what's today?
Today is the 20th.
It's in 2 days. The 22nd.
In 2 days.
Yeah, 22nd when I quit.
All right. So you've had almost a year now. Ditched the 9 to 5 and everything. So how you feel about everything so far?
It's very stressful. It's stressful 80% of the time. Like, if I wasn't already bald, I would be definitely going bald. I'm surprised I ain't went gray yet. So it's very stressful, but the freedom is like the greatest thing. Like, I could really wake up anytime I want to. You know how most people like hate Sunday nights? Yeah. Because they have to go to work the next morning?
Right.
I don't deal with that. Like, every day is like a Friday to me.
Right.
Like, I can make my own schedule. Like, Fridays, I usually hang out with a couple of my boys. Like, I don't really do too much on Fridays.
Right.
So I like that. I like that everything is on me. Like, and so that always makes me want to perfect what I'm doing, or always looking to increase my awareness, increase my brand visibility, increase my personal visibility. So I love that part that is all on me. So
for the people out there that don't know, what exactly is it that you do?
I run a boutique digital marketing agency called the Rebel Society, which pretty much, for the most part, we take your regular, not every day, but we create content for different companies. And with that content, we make sure we target the people who needs to see your content. So how most companies, they will do like a random promo video and just put it out there on social media. But You got people that don't really... Can I cuss on this?
Yeah, you got it.
Well, you got people that don't really give a fuck about what you're doing. You got your friends who they rock with you, but they don't really rock with what you're doing.
Right.
So you got all these people that aren't really your ideal client base. So what I do is try to find out who's your ideal client base and create content centered around who they are. So when they see that piece of content, they are more inclined to support or buy what you're selling. So in a nutshell, that's what I do.
So basically, you quit working for the man to be able to work for yourself to help supply the man with marketing.
True. And I kind of know what I'm doing, so it kind of makes it easy. So I don't mind working with people. Right. Just working for somebody is the worst. Like, especially when they don't know what the hell they trying to do.
Yeah.
And I don't like people having that much control over my life.
Yeah, it is. As a business owner, you spend a lot of time really wondering, is this the right direction to go?
Right.
And some of it is, this is truth be told, a lot of it's trial and error. But because every situation is different due to the people that you have working for you, different circumstances and things like that.
Right.
So.
Oh, and by the way, I also have a podcast called Society X Podcast, where it's the most unconventional business podcast on the planet Earth right now. Yeah,
I can honestly say that in the episodes that I have listened to. I said I already said that if Rashad asked me to come up there, automatically I'm not answering the very first question that comes up on the podcast. I already said, I said, you know what? I just have to plead the fifth.
You have to, man. What you scared of? Yeah, you have to. That's part of it.
But I do love the concept of everything. You really hear a lot of stories that you normally would not hear.
Right.
From people that they're in the know, but they don't know the whole background of everything that they do.
True. Like, I try to interview people who, it's a lot of people since I've been working in this industry for 7, 8 years. So I've met a lot of people along the way. Like the one we dropped today with Batman VA promoter. I've been knowing him for like 10 years and he has a great story. He's done a lot of stuff, but a lot of people on the outside looking in might not know all these different things about him. So, and me personally, I feel like once you get to know somebody on a deeper level, that's with anybody who do anything. Right. You be more inclined to really rock with what they're doing, support what they got going on, and pretty much be real advocates of their brand pretty much. So I try to do that. So that's what I do.
And then it goes a long ways too, because even though I tell people, even though you may not be in touch, if the person you're out there on social media doing things and you treat people the right way, they will say, "Oh man, that's my man Rashad. I haven't hollered at him in a while, but man, he's doing big things. Go check him out."
Right. So that's always the case.
So now, what brought us here today was your Instagram post, which you talked about the big MO momentum and being consistent in what you're doing in business. And I hit him up over the phone. I said, "Man, we have got to do a podcast about this because this right here, a lot of people don't talk about." So go ahead and give us a brief spiel about the link that's in your bio right now on Instagram. Mm-hmm. You can read the article. Mm-hmm. Great 2-minute read, but go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, pretty much. Anytime that I talk to different business owners, since I work with a lot of different people who own their own businesses, I tell them like you have to find some way to make yourself hot. So, like even like I'm big into like rap music or whatever. So every rapper who's got super big, they had that moment where they were like on the cusp. So they had to make themselves hot. Like Lil Wayne, he released in like 05, 06, 07, he released like 100 something mixtapes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so he was making himself hot. So with businesses, I feel like you have to do the same thing, which make yourself hot, start to build some type of momentum. So, and then with momentum, like everything will just start to grow from there. Like, your revenue will start to grow. If you're putting out videos, your views will start to grow. People talking about you in a positive manner will start to grow. And then that allows you to know that you're going on the right path, which I feel like is necessary for any type of business.
Now, to backtrack a little bit, because I do know a little bit about hip hop, one thing that I will say is two things that worked in favor of Lil Wayne. First, it was the fake retirement of Jay-Z. And then the other one was when he did do the mixtapes, it really unleashed him as an artist. He wasn't constrained by Baby and the Cash Money Machine. He was able to do really his own thing and make his music his own way.
I would agree, but disagree on that. I feel like he was able to do it his own way, but I feel like his work ethic like severely kicked in.
Right.
Like, cause around that time, nobody else was people was putting out like an album here, album there, like every year, every 2 years or whatever like that. But he was like, you know what? I'm gonna really flood the market, which is something I also believe in. Just always having your face out there helps increase your visibility, and people, whatever you're preaching or saying, people are like, you know what? He's right, cause he's always out here. So he did that where he started saying, you know what? I'm the greatest rapper alive.
Right.
And then you started putting the work to back that up. Numbers wise, it doesn't make sense because out of, let's say he did put out, let's say 50 mixtapes over the course of 3-4 years.
Right.
Which is a lot. Out of each mixtape, there might have been only 3 good songs. So in the numbers wise, it doesn't make sense. But all you need is when you're having so much quality coming out, or when you have a large quantity of numbers coming out, then you can say, all right, for each project, I only need like good 2 joints. People gonna rock with those, and then sooner or later they're gonna be on to the next project I'm dropping next week.
Right, that's right.
So I personally believe in quality over quantity, but sometimes having enough quantity can outweigh the quality.
Right.
So
similar to No Limit Records, because at one time,
yeah, they were dropping the album like every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Right. Most of the joints are trash, but the perspective is they really out here killing it.
Right.
Like I ain't never heard an album from Cain and Abel or Mia X. I did have my first album that I bought was Silk the Shocker, Charge to the Game. which had my favorite song, It Ain't My Fault. But I ain't never heard a mystical joint like See Murder besides, Down for My Niggas. But I never heard those albums. But on the outside looking in, it seemed like they was running stuff because they always had an album out in stores.
Now, I really can't believe that you actually bought the album Silver Shock.
It was my first album that I ever bought. It wasn't a great album. It was completely trash. But It Ain't My Fault was my favorite song for like at least 3 years. Yeah, so I had to rock with it.
Yeah, it was a hot song.
It was a very hot song. So, yeah.
So we're all sitting here learning a little bit about Rashad, and people learn a little bit about myself too. Mm-hmm. Now, so you believe in the big the momentum. Mm-hmm. So how has momentum really played into your company, you going from the 9 to 5 into running your own company?
Momentum is huge for me just because I know what makes me hot. I know when I really start putting out like hella stuff that's when my phone starts ringing. That's when people hit me in DMs like, yo, I need to work with you. I like what you're doing. This is when I'm getting random emails. This is when I'm getting tagged in stuff on Facebook like, yo, I really want to work with Rashad. I like what he's doing. Stuff like that because they're seeing me consistently day in, day out. First thing in the morning to I'm the last one up at night. So they're seeing me put in that work. And also with me, since I work mostly in the creative field, because a lot of stuff that my company puts out, I shoot and I edit myself. Right. So, which to be quite real, when I first started out 3-4 years ago, I was trash with a camera. So I was like, you know what? I forget who says, I believe it's Malcolm Gladwell, you got to put in the 10,000 hours. Right. So the only way for me to do that is I'm going to just keep shooting. So I'm going to put out stuff. Even if I don't really rock with it, I'm going to still put it out. The next day, I'm going to put something else out, which is going to be a little bit better. Next day, I'm going to put something else out. Right. So I realized a couple years ago, that is what makes me hot. Like, I love the feeling of people hit me up like, hey, I need you to do this. And I like being cocky. So I like to be able to show that, hey, I got people checking for me. So, and my prices aren't cheap. So when I put something out there, they be like, you know what, I got to work with no matter what the price is. Right. And then if somebody be like, you know what, your price is a little too steep for me. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I didn't reach out to you. You reached out to me. So it's like, take it or leave it. Right. So I love being able to do stuff like that because I'm an asshole at heart. But yeah, so stuff like that is like what I really rock with. So that's my main thing, just realizing. And when I talk to different people, I tell them, like, you really got to realize what makes you hot. Like, what gets your phone ringing, what gets people, checking for you, all that. So if you can't really figure that out, then you're losing out here. So, yeah. So now what part of the overall process of meeting a person they come to you and they say, all right, Rashad, I want to make myself a brand. From that statement to the end, which part of the process do you like the most? That's a good question. I like when they start to get the ball rolling, when they start to believe in themselves. Right. Because a lot of people who start in like personal brands, let's take that for instance, they don't really believe in themselves until other people start doing it. So they have a crazy amount of fear in the beginning. Like, no way, I want to do this, but they don't really make any moves. Like I have a friend who has, I ain't gonna say that, never mind. But when people start to be recognized for their gifts and their talents, then they're more inclined to like, all right, we got to keep this ball rolling. We got to keep moving. But until that point, it's a lot of fear. So to answer that question, I would say once they start to get recognized for what they're good at, it's the joy that I find, and that is what like motivates me to keep wanting to help people.
Right. So do you see going back to momentum, do you see that momentum kick up a little bit once that fear kind of drops off?
Yeah, because then fear is a bitch, yeah. So it holds a lot of people back. Yeah, it does. So people might have great ideas. And I've also fallen into this category where I have great ideas, but I'm scared of what other people are going to say. Yeah. I'm scared of people saying like, yo, you're trying to do too much. You're trying to be better than other people. Well, you know what? Yes, I am trying to be better than most people. Right. Right. So
why do it if you're not trying to be better than other people?
Right. So I'm trying to be the best. So once I got over that fear, I got over the fear of what my parents going to say, what my friends going to say, what people going to say behind my back. Like, people not supporting. Then once I got over that, like, hurdled over that, then I'm able to say, you know what? All right, well, fuck all them. Not my parents, because I love my parents, but same sentiment for real.
Right.
But, I'm going to just do what I got to do. And people going to dick ride once I get to the top or get, to a better position and say, like, I always been with you. So that type of stuff helps me build momentum. Like, you know what? I know in the end, they're going to rock with me once I, get to where my goals are. And, I can take people on random cruises that they ain't really,
right.
They ain't have to pay for.
Right.
So that type of stuff in my head always pops up in my head like, all right, I just got to do what I got to do to get where I need to go at.
Yeah. One thing that I found for myself is I've been probably studying leadership and preparation for about almost 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then random mentorship thing that I was doing with a mentee, and it was like, man, you should really look into selling this program or selling the service. And I was like, well, I had thought about it, but like how you said, you kind of get afraid. Well, I don't know what people are going to think. And if you put it out there and it's complete trash, then people be like, this is trash. I wouldn't even take this course or do this for free.
Right.
But then one thing you did say that was funny in the whole scenario is I would coach people to get past this part, but then wouldn't even do it myself because I had my own other business, as we talked before, offline. So it is a big hurdle for the person, what they're looking at. But when you're on the outside looking in, you're like, this is so small. Why are you worried about what other people think when it's something that you really want to do? But when you're looking at the wall, to you, it looks like it's huge.
That's true.
So what do you do to get people to get beyond, like, they get over that hurdle in that beginning stage?
I really just boost them up with a lot of positive reinforcement. Like, yo, you could do this. Like, and sometimes people just need that one person to say, you know what? You got a great fucking idea. Like, why don't you just do this? Like, and be able to connect the dots on stuff they probably don't see. Like, you know what? If you did this, that'll open you up to do X, Y, Z. Your end goal is to do this. So that's already going to put you 5 steps ahead to get there. Mm-hmm. Or even if you did X, Y, Z, if you did this one thing, that could lead you making $10,000 extra a month.
Right.
So, I don't see the point why you don't want to do this. Like, then they're like, you know what? I should do that. And then I just stay on your ass after that.
Right.
Like, even with my wife, she, says she wants to do a lot of stuff. And when she brings it to me, I got to make sure I stay on your ass.
Right.
Because that's the only way shit going to happen. Like, I got to stay on your ass. Like, you know what? Why you ain't doing what you said you want to do? All right, well, you said you was going to do that last week. What happened? Like, let's get this shit popping. So, all right, come on.
But,
so that's
what you need.
Yeah.
Truth be told, when people get married for the wrong reasons, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. If you marry somebody and you mad because they pushing you to be better.
I don't really understand that. Right. I don't understand what you want if you don't want somebody to make you a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like, she makes me better, but I feel like it's my job to, as her husband, I feel like it's my job to make her better. So even if that means me just pushing her to get to where she wants to go to, then I'll put you on my back and I'll take you there. But, I need you to put in a little bit of work too.
Right. And plus, if whether it's your wife or the person that somebody's paying you for a service, if you know what their end goal is and what their dream is, what they want to get accomplished, your job is to help them reach it to get there. Now, sometimes, how do they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Mm-hmm. I used to tell people, I said, well, I could push them into the pond.
Right.
They're going to drink something. Yeah. And then if they don't like it, they'll get out the pond and go stand back on dry land. Mm-hmm. But at least you drunk some of it.
Right. You ain't thirsty no more.
Right. So, right. I haven't seen anybody yet that was thirsty. They got thrown in a pond.
I could use some juice.
Right.
It never happens like that.
No, it doesn't happen. So now, where are you at now in your whole, let me rephrase this question. Basic general question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's actually a very great question. I see myself actually having a large digital media marketing agency right now. Right now, I have pretty much it's me, and then I have like 2 or 3 other people that help me out from time to time. But I really want to have a full staff of at least 100, 150 people. I already got an office in mind. It's in downtown Portsmouth. It's awesome. It's the type of spot that I want, so I'm going to be in there.
Right.
Really, I want to be like the go-to brand in at least the East Coast. In 5 years, I want to be that go-to brand because I feel like I have a niche with urban marketing.
Right.
Just as far as I understand, to be blatant, I understand Black people.
Right.
And I feel like Black people are the people that start pop culture. So I feel like I have a pulse on pop culture. So I understand like what's popping. I feel like what's popping now, something that's on the rise. I feel like something that's going to fade out like pretty easy.
Right.
Like I don't even like I said, I'm a big music head, hip hop head, but I don't really pay attention as much anymore, but I still get my pulse on it. Like I know, all right, I can see people like really rocking with this. I can see people not really rocking with that, but it's still kind of popular right now. So in a year or 2 years, that might be fading out. So I might be able to do something with that brand on a short-term basis, but not long term.
Right.
So that's one of my goals is do that. I really want to do something for young boys who are not sure where they want to like end up at as far as career wise. Cause I feel like young boys, especially Black boys, a lot of times their parents don't know what is really out here. So they just tell you, all right, go to college, do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You know, work for the government, do this. It's a whole bunch of bullshit.
Right.
But I want to be able to come in and sit down, have a group of boys like, you know what? All y'all can intern for my company, which I guess, and then you'll be able to see that, all right, you can make money throwing parties. In college or in high school, I didn't know you could really have a living throwing parties.
Yeah.
A lot of people make a lot of money throwing parties.
Yeah.
So if I knew that, even though I'm not a big party, I was like, oh, okay. Or just doing stuff in music. Picking beats for rappers is a career.
Yeah.
Stuff like that you don't know about. Doing stuff on social media is a career.
Yeah.
So I just want to be able to like show, young men that, you could do other stuff than whatever the status quo in your particular area or region is.
The one thing that I dislike about the urban market, as far as job wise and hustle wise, it's like party promoters. Mm-hmm. It's like when all of a sudden one guy does a good job at doing it, now we got 10 of them trying to do it.
True.
And then 3 or 4 of them band together and say, okay, we're gonna take all our group and create one. Mm-hmm. And now they just take the same crew of people from, how it is in Hampton Roads. You go to one, it's all the same people there. There's another party the next week. Go to that one, it's all the same people there.
Right.
But who's losing in it, as you can see, if you're in the Hampton Roads area, you go to a nightclub around here, it's usually dead. Unless a party promotion is happening at one particular place.
I think I see what you're saying about that, but I feel like that's more of the problem for the venue.
Right, so I'm saying the venue is hurting.
They don't know how to market or brand themselves, so they're trying to bring somebody else to come in and bring somebody cool. I feel like an easy way to correct something like that would be, say if, what's a club? Broadway. I know they just opened back up. Shout out everybody at Broadway. Shout out Nick. He's still a bitch. But shout out, or a place like Broadway, they're going to bring in different promoters just to get the people in there. Right. But then after a while, they feel like they're going to need these people. Instead of hiring, say they hired their own party promoter.
Right.
And made that like an internal position. Now you got somebody that knows what they're doing. They can make sure all that. Say you might pay this person $60,000, $70,000 a year. And all they're doing is throwing parties for your event.
Right.
Then you got people coming in on a consistent basis. You know, who's the tastemakers that need to be here, the influencers that need to be here to, do whatever. But a lot of clubs don't do that. They're like, you know what? I'm going to just bring this person in. I'm going to give them the door and percentage of the bar. But what if that person leaves? Then their whole crowd leaves. And then you have nothing.
Right.
You sitting there with 7 people on a Friday.
So what do you think is the ultimate reason why they don't hire a person internally? Because
they only looking for the right now hustle. Like they'll look at like, you know what? I don't want to put nobody on salary to do this when I could just bring somebody else in. But they don't think of it like the long term. Like, all right, if we make this person hot, let me take that back. I never heard a club say or people say, you know what? I want to go to the Broadway's party they got going on. It's always I want to go to GED's party or Creative Nations party or whoever is having parties.
Right.
So pretty much wherever they're going to go, people going to follow them because they're like, you know what? I had a great time at Creative Nation party. They had a white party. I had a great time. I want to go to that.
Right.
They never said, you know what? Broadway has the craziest parties ever. Like that never is the case.
Right.
So they looking at it. So the people that own these spots, these venues are just looking at it. All right, we just need somebody in here on a consistent basis. They don't know that they're making these promoters hot. And once these promoters are hot, they're going to leave and get more money somewhere else.
But, you know, now let me ask this question. But doesn't it take a long time for, let's say, a new club, for their branding to actually kick in before they be able to actually afford that person to be full-time there internally? So maybe they have to go to the quick fix until they get their feet on, you know, foot on solid ground, you know, because you know how it is. Because if you open up if you rent a spot, you can usually negotiate the first 3 months with no rent payment. So you have a rent payment coming in. So you got 3 months to make a whole lot of money to be able to start paying the rent and then paying your staff and stuff like that.
Very true. But at the same time, they could do stuff like, all right, there's kids that graduate of college every year. There's always 3 or 4 kids that are super supremely popping that might throw their parties.
Right.
Why wouldn't you pay a kid $25,000 to $30,000 fresh out of college to throw parties? Who wouldn't take that?
Right. I know I would have took it coming out of college.
I would have definitely took it, like happily. So why don't they do that? Where what's $25,000 like a month? Probably making like $3,000-$4,000 a month, something like that. I'm bad with numbers, so I'm gonna just guess.
Yeah, you caught me with some math on live on a podcast.
Yeah, we're not gonna fact check that, but even if you give somebody $3,000 a month to come in your event, throw parties 3-4 nights out the week, kids are gonna take that. And then once you start to grow a little bit, if that kid isn't doing a job or his clientele isn't transferring over like the way you need to, then you could bring somebody else in who might be a little bit older, who might have more a roster, you know, clientele, whatever. Then you can just continue to grow like that. I don't understand why people don't do that.
Yeah, it's, you know, Hampton Roads area is strange, and I dabbled in looking into, you know, owning, not running. So there's a big difference. Owning at nightclubs and things like that. And it was just everywhere I went, each one of them said, if you're not prepared to fry chicken, there's no need to get in business. And I said, well, I'm too busy, you know, with all the other businesses I own. So I don't have the time to be able to be behind somebody's kitchen. And trust me, you don't want me frying anybody's chicken for sale. Now you come to my house, I
can't make you some Old Bay or lemon pepper wings or nothing?
No, that ain't gonna happen. Now if you come to a cookout or something, I can handle you for a day. But you know what I mean? But like
night in, night out.
Night in and night out. No, that's you know, come on, smell like grease.
Right.
You know, so shout out to all the people out there that cook my wings at the nightclub. I really do appreciate it.
Y'all are saints to the community. We deeply appreciate you. Especially people that used to work at Sliders that made my Old Bay wings, and I cherish you. Hope
this is severely off subject, but I've never had Old Bay wings.
They're pretty great.
Really?
They're pretty awesome, man. If you get them fried slightly hard, but the meat is still juicy, it's the greatest thing ever. Everybody be really on like lemon pepper wings. I feel like they're overrated. But you get you some nice Old Bay wings that got the right amount of heart attack and the right amount of zestiness. It's the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest combination.